Greetings to all viewers of this video. Today we will talk about the northern part of our planet, about the Arctic. So, first let's deal with its boundaries. There are several definitions of boundaries, but in general the Arctic is considered to be a region adjacent to the North Pole, including the margins of North America and Eurasia. The Arctic Ocean with numerous islands, as well as the adjacent parts of the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. The climate here is cold, but warmer than in Antarctica. In winter, the average temperature is around 40 degrees Celsius, although there are places where it happens even lower. In the summer about +5. By the way, there are no seasons as such, either polar day or polar night. The polar day at the North Pole lasts longer than 186 days and covers all summer, most of spring and a small part of autumn. The rest of the time there is the sunny polar night. It is at this time that you can see the unusually beautiful northern lights. Recently, the average temperature in the Arctic has been steadily rising. This is caused by anthropogenic impact and global warming. The warming was especially noticeable during the abnormally warm winter of 2011 and 2012, when in late January and early February 2012 the air temperature on some Arctic islands, for example, on Hayes Island, exceeded zero. Forecasts of scientists are disappointing for the flora and fauna of this region. According to some calculations, by the end of the 21st century, the ice cap on the side of the Arctic Ocean will completely melt, and this will be noticed first of all by polar bears hunting on sea ice. Again, according to preliminary calculations, in the event of a complete melting of ocean ice, the number of deaths from starvation alone in polar bears will increase from 3 to 20%. In connection with the warming in 2012, many scientists and organizations began to closely monitor the study of this region. Countries bordering the Arctic region. These are Russia, Norway, Denmark, Canada, and the USA are very interested in the rights to these territories and persistently protect them. So who owns the Arctic? Well, firstly, there is no clear division of borders as such, since most of the Arctic is the Arctic Ocean. And here the laws on the water areas of states are already in force. It is worth saying that at first the sectoral approach dominated. That is, the Arctic was divided into sectors of responsibility between the above countries, and the North Pole was the border of all states. Nevertheless, the division into sectors gave rise to some misunderstandings, since it determined the legal status of the islands and lands, and not the water areas of the sectors. As a result, people realized that clear definitions were needed and that the North Pole itself could not belong to anyone. In 1982, the Convention on the Law of the Sea was adopted, according to which the water area of the state extends only to the Arctic shelf, while outside the shelf zones it is declared international territorial. Coastal waters are declared 12 miles away, and the economic territory is located 200 miles from the coast. Currently, countries are fighting for the Arctic shelf. The most active participants are Canada and the US, on the one hand, and Russia, on the other. These countries are making expeditions to prove their claim to more of the Arctic shelf than they can afford today. The main reason for the interest of these countries is related to the huge reserves of minerals. The U.S. Geological Survey estimates that there are 90 billion barrels of oil in the Arctic, both onshore and offshore. So that you understand how much it is, given that about 584 million barrels of oil are consumed annually, these reserves will be enough for 154 years, that is, for the whole world. On the shelf, which is owned by Russia, up to 25% of oil reserves and up to 50% of all proven reserves of the country are stored. At the same time, it should be taken into account that hydrocarbon reserves on land have been explored more or less reliably. The shelf of the world ocean is less than 10% studied. It is also worth considering that the extraction of natural resources in the Arctic is extremely difficult and dangerous from an environmental point of view. In the harsh climate of the Arctic, the likelihood of accidents increases significantly. The ability to clean up the consequences of an oil spill, as well as its effectiveness, is complicated by numerous storms with high waves, thick fog and, of course, meter-thick ice. Now imagine if an accident occurs during the polar night, which lasts here for several months. The work to eliminate the consequences will have to be carried out in the dark almost at random. However, the Arctic is also rich in other useful resources. Official sources report that to date, 594 oil fields, 159 gas fields, 2 nickel deposits and more than 350 gold deposits, as well as large deposits of coal, ferrous, non-ferrous rare metals, and other metals have been discovered in the Russian region. Radioactive elements, folk and chemical raw materials, as well as diamonds. I think that after this, no one will have a question why the countries bordering the Arctic are literally fighting for every square kilometer, and the Arctic, not being a mainland, remains one of the key regions of our planet. Changes in which will certainly affect the whole Earth. Here you can see such unusual phenomena as the polar night, the northern lights. Thank you for your attention. Naturally, it is impossible to tell everything in one video. You can write questions in the comments, subscribe to the channel and like this video. Bye everyone.